Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hello, Shadowcat back with more Star Trek Cosmoteer. And last time we were here, we got ourselves up to 50% done in this system. I think 50% done. Basically, we just kind of went around and did stuff. We crossed a lot of the inner solar system, got ourselves into a few fights, got ourselves into some trouble. Yeah, we got pretty beat up, but we made a few improvements, and I think we're in a better place now. We're evolving as we go. Now, that being said, speaking of evolution, one of the last things we did is we upgraded the freighter, since the freighter is traveling with us. We made it a little bit more fanged fighter-ish. It's got a much more pointed nose on it that actually sticks out of the force field. We upgraded it to a bridge, and it's now got all kinds of turreted defense along it too. They're just little lasers, so it's not much. But still, it's better than nothing. And we can always try to upgrade it further as we go. I mean, these are still single lasers, so it's only got single lasers along the side, it's got single lasers on the front. It does have a couple of dual cannons, which, you know, that's where the real power is. Doesn't have a whole lot on the back. We did upgrade the defenses on the back. We upgraded the engines on the back. It now has triple impulse engines, dual layers of armor, and a full layer of security shielding along the back, as well as extra security shielding along the sides, you know, in addition to the deflector shields. So it's doing good. But the really important thing here is I've gone through and I've edited the actual code of the mods. So now, when we go to build something, if I wanted to put in, say, more deck torpedo launchers on a ship like the Excelsior, which is already full up on deck torpedo launchers, well, it's not full up anymore. Now we can have up to 100 of any of them. We are no longer restricted. Which means we can now build ourselves an Akira class starship. If, and here's the big if we have enough crew to put on it, and if we have enough materials to put on it. We have nearly 5 million credits. But all the credits in the world don't mean anything if we can't get the materials. And a single space station may not have the materials we need. Fortunately, we blew up a pirate base over there. And that may give us the materials we need. But before we can do that, first things first. We are going to be exploring the system to 75%. For that, we need another... Let's see, 8 to 2 is 4, plus 10 is 14. We need another 14. And so, I think we're going to start by finishing up the inner solar system. There's 3 signals around here that we can explore. And there might be a couple more in here that we haven't seen yet. And then, I think we'll go and we'll hop relay to relay. And we'll see what that does for us. And then hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we'll have some time left over and we can do some building. And already, there's a signal right there. And it is just A uranium asteroid. We don't need this. Okay, we're gonna head to this pirate territory just to help clear out this fog. And then we'll hit these other two signals on the way back. That should clear up pretty much everything. That being said, looks like we have trouble. Is it trouble? It could be. It is. This is a Tier 13 Eviscerator. Okay. Turn to fight. Let's take this thing down. A Tier 13 is a lot. Oh, and it's got another one there. A Tier 13 Acolyte of Adhara. Alright, let's see what we're up against. This has many lasers and many beams. This one, on the other hand, has many cannons. Like, a lot of cannons. As well as some disruptors. Take out the disruptor. Without the disruptor, the cannons are not going to be much of a threat at all. We're going to slow things down a little bit too. Okay, and we are under attack by that thing. Okay, Excelsior. I'm going to redirect you. Go after that thing. It is crashing right into the club. The club is taking pretty severe damage. Okay, club, you need to get out of here. Move. Move that ship. I don't think these guys are friends. Okay, Enterprise. I want you to go after this. However, I want you to do so from this direction. Begin maneuvers. Club, go help out, however possible. The Excelsior is holding their attention. The Enterprise active defenses are screening. So are the clubs. Club. Grab that ship and hold it still. Hold position here. Slow it down. Oh! It's been sheared in half. That ship is disabled. That's a lot, actually. Bring the freighter over here. Let's see what we can salvage. Looks like we already found something, too. Yeah, this is one of the signals. Okay, we can deal with this. Go ahead and real quickly get to work on that. Club, come over here. We have repairs to do. I know you took severe damage. Yes, yes you did. It's bad, but it could have been worse. Now, the saucer section, that's where a lot of damage was. Okay, let's go ahead and finish salvaging this thing. Stop it already. Alright, let's get in closer. We're going to salvage everything we can from this. Well, that's not good. What do we got here? A Tier 11 Cantaloupe, a Tier 11 Hydra. They left to come after us. Okay, Club and Enterprise, take this Hydra. Excelsior, go after this Cantaloupe and offer it no quarter. Go for the power core. Same thing is true for you. Enterprise, target one power core. Club, target the other power core. And Freighter, make sure that everyone is back. Slow things down. This is not good. Okay, get the freighter out of here. Turn that ship and burn away. Okay, I think the Excelsior is taking this ship apart. There's another power core there. Go for it. As for this one, they're dismantling it. We didn't go looking for a fight from you. This was unprovoked. Okay. That ship is destroyed. Alright, damage report. We lost a thruster. Heavy damage to the armor. Anything else? Oh, that nuke launcher. Yeah, didn't do us a whole lot of good, I don't think. The club. Some fairly minor damage. But it's okay. The Enterprise is fine. The Excelsior. Very minor damage to the outer armor. And there we go. It's all taken care of. Okay. There's nothing else left here that we need to go through. Let's head back up to this signal. Is there still something over here? Okay, never mind. Get in here. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're doing. But I'm not going to be ambushed again. It's a Tier 11 Roko's Vengeance. Pretty nasty piece of work, but nothing we can't handle. Target the central power core. We're going to split this ship in half. The asteroid field makes it difficult to maneuver. And clearly, that ship is faster than we are. Which is kind of crazy. Our ships are using impulse engines. I thought they would be faster than just regular thrusters. Did we get his attention yet? I think we did. Here it comes. Okay, do not crash into it. What is that? Okay, it is eating right into the club. You've got to go. Turn that ship. Go. Is this ship a rammer? This is a ramming type vessel. Enterprise. Hold it still. And Club, remove yourself from the situation. Not again! We have got to redesign the Club. It just blew out the warp core. Unbelievable! How many crew did we just lose because of that? I don't think the Club is going to work out for us. I think the Club is just in over its head. I mean, it's been a good ship, but it's getting eaten alive out here. Let's see. We need to get people out of here. We need to get people out of here. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we will abandon this. Okay. I would say the same thing is true over here, but this piece is already uninhabited. Perhaps we don't need to build a new ship. Perhaps we need to redesign, or rather replace the Club. That might be a good way to do this. Alright, let's start with the saucer section. We'll get the repairs done. Alright, that's the engineering section. Let's get the struts done. Alright, nacelle rebuilt. And nacelle rebuilt. Okay, the Club is back online. But having the warp core back here like this this doesn't work. Even with the additional shielding back here, this does not work. Maybe if we threw some additional armor on it? I mean, maybe then? We can take a look. Let's go ahead and build this out more. We've already got these angle pieces here. What if we go with, like, the most we can on this? We can do that. We can do this. And there we go. It's really heavy, though. So what if we did something like that? That'll shave off a little bit of weight. Not much, but it's some weight. We can do that. There. It helps. Maybe. Kinda. Alright. Let's get out of here then. Oh, it's a good thing we did come over here. There is a signal here. Just a navigation beacon. Alright, moving on to the next one. And you better leave us alone. I am not looking for fights. No, more and more I'm looking at the club and thinking that perhaps instead of building a new ship, maybe we should just replace one. What do we got here? Okay, there is a Tier 13 bandsaw ship. What is it? Besides firing at us. It is a missile ship and rail gun. And I see it's got additional sensors too. Must be why or how it saw us. Okay, there are additional ships coming. This is a Tier 13 Warden. It is a heavy missile ship with nuclear weapons and flak. And it is coming straight for us. Alright then, we're going straight for it. You have your target. Go for the central power core. And a Tier 13 Mercy Giver. That is not merciful. That is a ramming vessel filled with flak. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to push. And we're going to target that thing. Okay? Keep that thing away while we fight this one. And Fanged Freighter, I want you to come over here behind the Excelsior. You can perhaps help screen. Okay. That ship is getting closer to us. It is tearing apart the Excelsior. Excelsior, you need to get out of there. And did you just nuke the Excelsior? Get out of here. The Excelsior is in trouble. All of that flak hitting it at once. Are you even holding it back? I see tractor beams there. I see tractor beams here. Oh, the Excelsior is just getting destroyed. Get the Excelsior out. Get the Excelsior out. I don't know what to do with this ship. This thing is a monster. Target those engines. The Excelsior is in a lot of trouble. The warp core is gone. Is it leaving? You know what? Good enough. We're going after this now. Club, come over here. And Freighter, disengage. Leave it alone. Excelsior, same thing. Disengage and leave it alone. Just park it right there. Enterprise. Tractor beams. Take a pause on those. A single railgun is not a threat to us. Oh, the club has taken so much damage. We were not prepared for this. Okay, Enterprise. I need you to hold this thing. Keep it there. Okay? Keep it here. Don't let it get away. Okay. Coming in. Speaking of coming in, so is that thing. Excelsior, you need to flee. All of those flat cannons absolutely annihilate everything in front of them. Particularly shields. Okay, that thing is done. Come back here. We've got to destroy this thing. Are there still people on board here? There are still people on board here. We've got to get them off. Okay. Keep this thing at range. Tear it apart. There is a power core right there. That power core is gone. There's another one on the other side, right there. It's either that or... See, that's crew's quarters. Crew's quarters. Where is the bridge? There's a control room there. That is a softer target. Okay. Draw this thing in. Reel it in. It's disabled. Not good. That thing was a nightmare. Okay. We cannot reconnect this, but we can rebuild. But we need to get everybody off. Okay, we're going to do that. And then we're going to abandon this. Okay, abandon this ship. Then they should rejoin these other ships. Yes? Because I thought that's how that would work. My God. Look at the damage. Right down the middle, right through the triple shields. Almost took out the bridge. And this is not the most powerful ship that's out there. We are going to need to have a better class of ship here. Or we're not going to survive long enough to finish the survey of this system. I mean, this kind of damage. And this is probably why we lost so many crew, because all the crew members' bunks are not down there anymore. Insufficient coils. That's a problem. Alright, well, we will rebuild what we can. Insufficient steel. Okay. Let's get up here then. We're going to salvage these ships to repair our own. This is unbelievable damage. Okay, let's get the ship in position. Begin salvage operations. We should be able to get the coils we need from here. The mining ladies are doing a pretty good job of tearing that apart. Alright, let's see what we can do for repairs now. Alright, both struts are done. Let's see if we can finish the engineering section. Insufficient coils. Alright, what about steel? Alright, that gets most of the frame out of the way. But coils are going to continue to be a problem. We may need copper. Alright, the only thing left out here is steel and some shells, I think. But there's still a ship over here. Let's salvage what we can from here. Would you settle down? I'll get to you in a second. Right now, I gotta focus on other things. Alright, starboard nacelle is online. We gotta have coils. We have 11 coils. Is that it? No, warp nacelles are easy to make. Alright, unfortunately, it looks like we are completely out of torpedo parts. We are going to need to hit a station. Now, what can we repair over here? Not much without coils. Alright. Well, I don't know what they were doing over here, but the station's right here, so let's stop in and take a look. Maybe we can get the rest of our repairs done here. We're not off to a great start. We still have 9 more signals to pull through. But maybe it doesn't happen today. We've never missed one of our goals before. I Okay, the Excelsior is back online. But we need materials. Crystals. There we go. We need torpedo parts. Start producing. We also need people back here. As much as I didn't want to do this, there's a lot of people here. And we're going to take all of them. I need some people to come back here, though. Why is nobody coming back here? Can I please get somebody to come back here? Well, that's annoying. I need somebody to be back here in the lower decks. Okay, well, I don't know how to make them go back there, so we're gonna have to deal. Now, as for the club, I want to tinker here, because we've got 122 people here. I want to experiment. We're gonna take a break from our normal assignment, and we're gonna try to rebuild this ship into the Akira that we wanted. Alright, so I have the specifications for the Akira pulled up. Now, the specifications for the Akira are as such. It's got a length of 464 meters, it's 316 meters wide, it's got a height of about 87 meters, mass is about 3 million-ish metric tons. Okay? Pretty big ship. 26 decks, a crew of roughly 500. Speed maxes out at warp 6. Well, cruising is warp 6. It maxes out at warp 9.8 for 12 hours. But it can cruise at 9.2. Which kind of makes you wonder, if the cruising speed is 9.2, then why does it just say speed warp 6? I don't know. Important for us, however, the armaments. 6 Type 10 phaser arrays, and anywhere from 2 to 15 torpedo launchers, along with chain reaction pulsar weaponry. That is what I would like to build. And so, since it says 2 to 15 torpedo launchers, I think I know what we gotta do. We gotta make us a great big old torpedo boat. And how are we gonna do that? Well, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna delete this. We're gonna leave the bridge and we'll leave much of this in place just because it's really good. But from here, we have to build ourselves up a torpedo boat. Now, what if we say since I know it says 2 to 15, but what if we just said, like, what if we wanted just 16? Okay? 16. That way we could have 4 forward, 4 starboard, 4 port, and 4 aft. That's a good way to start. Now, as far as can we do it that way, I don't know. So let's just start building and we will see how this works out. Now, for starters, this ship only has about 6 phasers on it. The club only had 6 phasers on it, so that's going to stay kind of the same. So if we were going to do phasers on here, well, let's see. I mean, we can see the club right there. So we kind of have an idea of what it looked like before. We can kind of base things on that. Maybe we should make modules? Like actual torpedo modules? How do we want to do that? I have an idea. What if we use something like this? We know that we're going to want to have magazines. So we could do a magazine kind of like that, or kind of like that. Or both, honestly. No, actually that one's better, because there's no doors in the back of these. So we can get rid of that. So we can have these on here. And then how do we use them? Well, we could copy these, paste them like this. And we could put them in like that. I mean, that's something. That's 8 torpedoes right there. So that's half of what we want. Then we would just have to kind of put a saucer around it, add in some torpedoes, add in our phasers. We need our thrusters for navigation. This is a good start, I think. Now, how much space is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. We could... Let's see. We want to make like a thruster array. So let's take this. We're going to want to do that. We're going to need to give it defenses. So it'll get its own shields. And that'll help protect it a little bit. Not going to protect it a whole lot, but it'll help. It will need to have additional defenses. Since the Akira class uses these pulsar weapons, I don't know what pulsar weapons are, but I know what pulse weapons are. We can use... maybe these dual point defenses are a little bit big, but maybe these single point defenses. We could put these like right here, right here. Okay. You can put 2 more there. And give it a small power core like that. I think that looks pretty good. We could do that, and we could put one in front, too. So we could copy this. No, wait, hold on. Select. Okay. Now copy. Paste. We could put one up here. I mean, yeah, this seems pretty good, actually. And if we go ahead and put, like, 2 spaces around on each side. Kind of like that. I think that's a pretty good start. Now, none of this is connected, so it's all kind of not being factored into anything. We will, of course, need to have engines. And maybe even additional torpedo launchers on the front. I wonder what would happen if I put these additional shields right here. And we did this. We can move those forward like that. They're going to need power cores of their own. So we can do that. Although, if we were going to do that, what if we combined it so that it did double duty? Because this might slot right in there. Just like that. And we can get a doorway in there. So these are still accessible. I'm liking this. Now, while we're on the subject, we're going to need to have impulse engines. Big ones, advanced ones. So these can go on here. Those will plug right in there. And that'll give access to the torpedo launchers through the impulse engines. And I wonder what would happen if I just line these up like this. So we do that. Those line up with the old engines. And if I make this line up as well, I think we're onto something here. So come up by 2, come over to line up, and there we go. And that can go away. This is making progress. So that is 8. Now, interestingly, about the Akira class is that it has a mission pod on the back. And that mission pod is usually a dedicated torpedo launcher, so we're going to be able to do that. For now, however, let's just keep working on the saucer section, but we can keep in mind that we can put at least like 4 torpedo launchers on there. Now, as with before, let's see. I think we can start adding in a little bit of the hull plating around here. Maybe. One thing that I do want to do is I want to add some more shielding on the side here. I don't need to worry too much about it pointing backwards, but I do want to have it there. And that will need to have a power source as well. So we can do that. And while we're at it, let's just fill this in. Okay, we know this is going to be space that's going to be used. So we'll just fill that in. Those can be brought in as well. So can this. Alright, we have to start to, something. It's definitely the start of something. Now, phasers. What can we do with phasers? We have 6 of these. But it doesn't say where. I would like to put 2 forward. And I could put them right here easily enough. So I could put 2 phasers right there. Just like that. I think I'm going to pull this in a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to pull that in a little bit. Because this thing, it feels like it's sticking out too much. Maybe it's not? No, maybe it's not. Maybe I can pull everything in a little bit. I'm not sure now. If I put it right here, it gives access to the torpedo room via the phasers. Because I can put a door up there. Just like that. Okay, we can fill that in. But then we got to move all this in as well. Like that. Now, interestingly enough, we still have all the space out here. We need some more forward torpedoes. I can plug a torpedo right there without bothering anything. It will, of course, need a magazine, which I can put right there. And we can even go ahead and put some crew corridors right there. So that gives us a total of 10 torpedo launchers so far. And we're still only working on the saucer section. Okay, let's start armoring. And we'll start actually getting the shape of this. The first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure this thing is a double hull. So we'll go ahead and start with that. That. We can go ahead and put one there and there. We can put one like that. And like that. I'm not entirely certain I'm happy with the way that looks. But it's really the only way that it works. Unless I change it to this, and then we can use a couple of ones. That seems to work a little bit better. That's kind of better. We can do that. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and add in the rest of these. So one there. One there, one there. Oh, and that does not quite fit. That'll have to go like that. Kind of weird. Why does that not fit? Because that should be that piece right there. And I guess that goes there. I guess that would be the appropriate way to do it. Okay, that's fine. That's actually absolutely fine. And then, on the front, we'll have a couple of these solid chunks up here. Do that. One of them. One of them. And there we go. Double hull on the front. There are a couple of spots that we're still missing. There's one. There's two. And over here, we can just throw that in like that. Okay, then. That takes care of the forward saucer section. Now, what about everything in here? One of the things that we're going to need is crew capacity, and it's already suggesting 207. Now, to be fair, each one of these, does it say how many crew it adds every time we use one? Command points 1. Actually, hold on. I know how we can do this. We're at 207. We're at 207. 204. Okay, so every single one of these point defenses adds 3 people. We have 4, 8, 12 of them. Times 3, that is an additional 36 crew that, honestly, I don't think we really need to worry too much about. So, it says 207 minus 36. That's only going to be about 177 people, which is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot. But not nearly as many as I think we need. What about these residences? We slap one of those in, and well, slap 2 of those in. That brings up to 92 capacity. And that's in the saucer alone. I could even bring this in a little bit more if I wanted to, just to help kind of compact everything. Maybe. For now, I'm going to leave it as is. We haven't even added things like fire extinguishers. We haven't added in things like airlocks. We haven't added in anything else yet. Okay. Over here. I did this. So I guess that's what I'm doing again. That could step down a little bit more sharply, though. We could do that, actually. We put that there. And that there. Alright, that works. This is actually going to be really super easy. Because this will just come straight across like that. And then getting back over here. We can do that. Lovely. Now, over here with these. Yeah, those are just going to go like that. Those will help to soften that up, I think. Kinda. Sorta. Not really. Oh, wait, I know what I did wrong here. That needs to go there. And that is the answer to that. Oh, no, wait, here's the problem. I've got double hull right here, but they're overlapping. So I really don't want any of this right here. I want this to meld into this. That's what's making it look weird. So instead, I would want something like this. Kinda. Sorta. It still looks kind of weird. But you know what? It's not going to be perfect. I can't make it perfect. But it's still double armor pretty much anywhere we go. Which means I think that we can call this one good. I am going to go ahead and put armor across there. That'll help protect the engines. Now, here's where things get a little bit different. Because whereas all the other ships have a single engineering section, the engineering section for the Akira class is kinda weird. Because it doesn't have the engineering section that comes off the saucer. It's got two additional pylons that come off the saucer. And they're kind of L-shaped and hold the nacelles, and then there's a bridge between the nacelles. And I'm not even sure if that's where the warp core is. So, what I think we're going to do... is actually, we're not going to do this here. We're not going to do that there. We're going to do that. And instead of having this be this shape, I'm going to round this out a little bit. So that's a 3... Or no, wait, hold on. I should be doing this way to make it a little bit more gradual. We'll go with the 2-2. Or maybe the 2, then a 3. Okay, that works, actually. That works better. Alright, that works. And then this can simply be filled in. And I know, you may be asking, it's like, well, why are we doing this if we know we're going to be putting holes in it? Just so we have a better visual representation. Honestly, that's it. Just so we have better visuals. We're also going to need to get the shield core in here somewhere. Maybe I should have stuck that in first. And the shield core will have to go like this? Yeah, because we can't get access to it that way. So it'll have to go like this. Alright, so if the shield core has to go like that, we can, of course, give it... Well, do we even want to do that? Hold on, what about the, What about the plasma tubes? You put plasma tubes like that. That's kind of thematic. Should probably be using these plasma tubes more than the fusion pieces anyway, because these are just batteries essentially anyway. That works. Okay. That means we got to change the curvature a little bit. So we do that, and we'll do that, and that should be fine. Now that means that would go like that. We want that to go right there. Alright, that looks good. Now, this actually is going to make things kind of easy, because these plasma tubes, you can only put doors in certain places. You can only put them on the ends and adjacent to the ends. So what we're going to do is this. We'll use both the doors on here, and these are going to be the pylons coming off. So people will have to come through these tubes to get into these pylons to come back for the mission pod. Okay. And this is going to work out pretty well, I think. Yeah, this should work out pretty well. First things, let's go ahead and put that there. Put that there. Now the real question is, where do we want to put these? Alright, before we do anything else, why don't we go ahead and make that mission pod? Okay? We know that we need the mission pod. We know that we're going to put on torpedo launchers. In particular, I want to put 4 torpedo launchers there. And for the mission pod, well, I could do 4, I could do 6. We already have 10. If we add 6, that'll put us up to 16. So we could do this. Except that doesn't really work very well, because there's no access from the back. In fact, there's no access from the back no matter which torpedo launcher you use. It's got to be access from the side. Well, this is fine. We can make this work. We'll make it wider. We'll make it wider. And then for the magazines, we'll use these. We'll make it wider like that. We'll use those. If I look at the picture of the Akira, technically, the struts come out to either side of the mission pod, and they're also very straight, so we may have to kind of embellish a little bit. Or we move these out a bit more, which, I mean, we could do. If we brought them, like, straight down here, maybe. Maybe. Well, let's finish up the mission pod then. Okay, let's finish this up. So the mission pod is pretty like it's like a squared rectangle, or a rounded rectangle, excuse me. So let's go ahead and just do this. Do that. And that was bad. We'll get rid of those. Actually, these can be brought together. We don't need to leave the gap in there. So, cut, move those together like that. Okay. There's a good mission pod. Now, is that the best view that I've got? Can I get like a top view of it? Not really. No, I really don't have any better views of it. Oh no, wait, there's one. Oh no, wait, it is kind of a different shape. It's more pointed towards the back. With a flat end. So, if we were going to do this, maybe something like this. No, it's too long. We'll go with singles. And then that would go there. Okay, so what do we do with this space? I think the obvious answer, of course, is to add a little bit of shielding. Because we're going to need it. And if we do that, I mean, that works. However, we'll have to put power in here. And that would mean that perhaps we need to make our magazines a little bit less. How can we do this and still keep our aesthetics the same? I'm not sure. I'd like to be using more of the plasma conduits, but I think we have to go with that. And because of that, we'll come over here to the defenses. We can do that. Grab some structure, throw that in there, and we'll call that good. Alright, so there's the mission pod. If we actually did go through and extend this on this side. I bring it down here. Well, it's never going to be perfect. And we still have to fit the warp core in somewhere. Because we haven't even done the warp core yet. I'm not sure where the warp core is on this ship. And you know what? Now that I am looking at this, actually, these are not straight. These actually do go out at kind of an angle. It's hard to tell in some of the pictures, but they do go out in kind of an angle. How else do we do this? Perhaps we do need to put the warp core in here. And then maybe we can build around it. So where's a warp core? That's a large warp core. I don't think we need anything that big. And I know I'm running really long on time here, and I'm trying to finish this up. How big is the large warp core? That thing is huge! Wow, okay, yeah, we don't need that. What about the small one? The small one has limited access, though. That's the problem with it. So if we went with the large warp core, and we added in all the doors we can. Okay, it's got lots of doorways like that. If we were going to add in torpedo launchers afterwards... we could do there. We could do there. Now, we need to give them magazines, obviously. So, magazine, magazine. That way people can also get in. Let's get rid of this. Yes, 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 I know. I just severed everything. It's all broken. It's all terrible. I know. But we do that. Now, because we do have doors on the back of here, I can put these shields in place. I can even put a couple of plasma tubes in here. And those will work. Now, the next part that's going to be a little bit weird is doing this. So now that we know that it is actually angled, we can do something like this, I think. How would we do this? It would have to go to here. Right. So it'd have to go like that. And then this could come across the sides. Oh, and I forgot this. I need these walkways to go through. Which means that these go in this place, and these are just offset. Aha! Figuring it out. Which means that we can have a 2-wide corridor going out. We'll have a 1-wide corridor going in. And all of this will just move up. Maybe right there. Maybe right there. Alright, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. We'll have to adjust the armor a little bit. But now we get to kind of the fun part, the warp nacelles. So the warp nacelles are kind of triangular, but only in a very, very long sense. The back is just a little bit wider than the front. So what we're going to start with is we're going to go with some of the too wide nacelles. I think that we're going to make it 3 nacelles long. So put one there, one there, one there. Kind of like that. That should be good. Alright, so let's just go ahead and round these out, and we'll turn these into just general, basic warp nacelles. Just a little bit of shaping should go a long way. So we'll do that. They are very wide at the back, but narrower at the front. And then we just fill in. All right, very basic warp nacelles. However, they should be out a little bit further because technically they do extend out a little bit further than the saucer section. So we'll extend them out about that far. Very good. We will armor this and here. And that will take care of the nacelles. Well, they're not the prettiest nacelles, they're not the fanciest nacelles, but they are nacelles. Now, we do still need some phasers. And we need some defenses. So here's what I am thinking, if we can fit it. I want to go ahead and put that there. Okay? And then, because with phasers, they have this exclusion area around the outside, I want to put the exclusion area where that is. I'll do the same thing for this one. The reason being is now we can get more of these point defense and put them in the exclusion areas. And so I think that looks pretty good. That gives us defense, it gives us offense out here. The mission pod back here is not as well defended, though, and I'm not too happy about that. No, I'm not too happy about that at all. But there's only so much that I can do about it. I mean, perhaps if I was better prepared for this, maybe I could do something about it, but I was not prepared for this. If I add in these armor pieces, I can make this a little bit smoother. And we want smooth. There we go. And there's not a whole lot more that I can do here. Oh, actually, I just spotted a problem. There's no way to get into the warp core. We can get into the torpedoes, but we can't actually get into the warp core. So this mission pod, not going to work. So I tell you what we're going to do. This is going on too long. I got to do a little bit more tweaking with this. But what I'll do is, between episodes, I will work out the flaws, and I will get this design done. And when we come back next time, we will get the newly christened Akira out there. We will get it out there, we will get it to work, and see if perhaps a bigger, tougher ship can do the job. I really hope so. So, if you want to see how that works out, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. That way, you get notified when the Akira is done. If you know somebody else who's also into either Star Trek or Cosmoteer, share this video with them. Especially if there's a ship they would like to see, because this was a request. Otherwise, though, if you just like me and you want to see more of what I'm doing, leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below. I will see you next time for more Star Trek Cosmoteer. And until then, take care.